The federal government wants to stimulate the economy. Why? Because the economy has collapsed. The reason for the collapse is not primarily the virus. As I have said before, viruses are with us. Viruses are part of life. Viruses periodically attack people and make them ill. They've done that for centuries. Over the last century, we've had several deadly viruses. This is not new. This is not surprising. The one in 1918 was devastating, killed 700,000 Americans. At least that's the major estimate. So what's collapsing our economy is not a virus. It's the failure to plan for the virus. It's the failure to arrange how best to cope with the virus. It's a failure to even understand how you would go about changing an economy so it wouldn't have to collapse in the face of something as well known as a viral pandemic. You all know this story, and I'm not going to go over it. Private enterprises didn't find it profitable to produce and store tests and ventilators and gowns and beds and hospitals, so they didn't. A government trapped in the logic and ideology of private capitalism didn't come in to fix and compensate for the failure of the private profit-driven sector. So we weren't ready, we weren't prepared, and our economy has stopped. So what is the government doing? Throwing money at it and hoping that that works. It probably won't. We threw money at the crash in 2000, so-called dot-com crash. We threw money at the crash in 2008 and 9, the so-called subprime crash. Throwing money was not a solution. It got us through the worst of the crisis, but it did so in a way that set up the basis for the next crisis, which we have now. Simple example. In order to deal with the first two crises, 2000, 2008, the Federal Reserve pumped the economy full of money and lowered interest rates to next to nothing. What happened? Every company in the country that had a problem, a mistake in its planning, an investment that didn't go well, workers who demanded higher wages, every problem you can imagine for business was solved in the easiest, cheapest way for the business to do it, which was to go to the banks and borrow limitless amounts of money at virtually no interest cost, so they did so. So when the virus arrived, we had a corporate sector that was up to here in debt, greatest level of debt American business had ever been in. And if you can't get your normal profit, you can't earn the money to pay your debt, and so the whole thing falls over. Viruses hurt your profitability, but if you hadn't had the level of debt, the ramifications of an interruption in your profits would have been less economic, less general, less cataclysmic. Solving the problem? Of course not. It's not enough money. It's going at businesses who aren't going to use the money in a productive way because they can't. People won't buy from them in any case because of the virus. People won't come to work in any case because of the virus. On and on. You have to intervene in the economy in a structural way to get production to be done in circumstances that are safe, 6 feet apart, tested all the time, make sure no one's sick, identify with tests. We can't do it. And the private sector is afraid of letting the government do it in any case, because then the government is showing everybody very dramatically that the private capitalist sector, having now crashed 3 times in the first 20 years of this new century, needs bailout after bailout, trillions of dollars, many of them coming from our taxes, to keep this leaky capitalist boat afloat. It's going to worsen the debt. It's going to change nothing in the basic organization of the economy. So throwing money this time, like throwing money the last 2 times, leaves the basic economy unchanged and therefore points us directly at the next crisis and crash, which will be triggered not by .com, not by subprime mortgage, and not by a virus, by whatever else comes along to knock over the broken, inadequate, vulnerable capitalist economy